Okay, everybody, welcome to this new episode of our podcast. I'm starting because I am the host today for some reason. We're using a completely different platform to what we usually use. We're hoping that the audio quality and the video quality will be better. Unfortunately for me, it looks like the video is backwards. Hanu said it's not that case, but I'm really terrified to see how this episode ends up. But today it's just me and my usual co-host Hanu. So Hanu, how are you?
I'm good. It feels to be nice on the other side. Um, you're the controller. You've got all the tools and all the keys. I'm just the one like talking. It feels weird, but it's fine. Yeah, this week we've got a completely new recording software. We originally tried it because we want to try it because we thought that our audio quality wasn't satisfactory and we want to do something better with it. And for the past 30 minutes, we've been trying to get things working. Artem's screen is inverted. Mine's in 144p. So, but if the audio is better, let us know actually, if the audio is better. Um, and then let us know if you would like mid audio but good video, or if you would like good audio but mid video, and we'll adhere to your wishes. Let us know if you want any other changes with the podcast format wise or whatever. Um, but Artem, do you want to be the host this time, or should I take over?
I am terrified because at the moment for me it looks like my audio waves are so quiet. So I'm just terrified that nobody's going to be able to hear me. Like your ones are visible on the screen, mine aren't. Can you see what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I can see exactly what you're talking about, but it's been similar in the RFN podcast actually, because we record the RFN podcast using the same software, and
Okay, what if I speak like this? Then
that,
my sound waves
that's
come
just
up.
thank you for killing my eardrums at this hour of the night.
Okay, I'm just gonna have to pretend that everything here makes sense, and I'm gonna just trust the software. Obviously, as the listeners probably have guessed by this point, if anyone is still listening after I shouted in their ears, we don't have a guest today. And that's why we thought today would be the perfect time to
To
test
experiment.
something like this because like we've had technical issues when David with David from Zenit Mauritius was on. We had technical issues last week when Tom was on. And you know, if this platform fixes this for us, it's going to be huge. It's going to be massive. Not even just the audio quality. The audio quality can stay the same for all I care, as long as we're not having massive connection issues. Anyway, I think we should probably start the podcast. And as the host today, I'm going to ask you, Hanu, what matches did you get to watch?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to pull this up on my phone because I can barely see what's on the screen.
Fuck
And
sake.
no, but guys, just for once, just bear with us and just imagine, like just use your brain and not
For
the screen.
once. For once.
Yes, for once.
Ugh.
And anyway, I'll fix your audio because I like Dr. Dre, so it's only fair that I learn to do some basic audio editing. But this was a really dead week for Russian football. We had like 3-0 nils. One of the days was absolutely terrible. But I watched Krasnodar. We're gonna get into them idiots. I watched only the Krasnodar game and the Zenit game. Nartem, I want to ask you, what are your thoughts on Krasnodar?
They played really well. No, it was a terrible game from them, to be honest. And it's just hilarious that usually you're looking at the RPL highlights for these kind of games, and like you can see here, well, probably you can't see here, but I can see here that usually it's like 2 to 5 minutes per game.
Yeah,
This one is 8 minutes because they conceded 6 goals. Like Spartak played amazing. Don't get me wrong, but Krasnodar was just fucking shit. Like there's nothing else to say except for that they looked like they had no tactics out there.
they always look like they have no tactics out there. That's what I've been trying to tell the world for years now. Is that they always Musaev's that manager who has one plan. He's like me. He's like me on Football Manager. I have one tactic, and if it goes right, it goes right. If it doesn't, then I just quit the game. And Musaev's Musaev's still sticking. Their director said that even if Musaev loses every game this season, he's still going to be in a job. And I don't think that's great management from any club. But you meant Promise scored. Promise was back on the score sheet. Promise gave an assist. Jordan Larson, my man, replied to the RFN tweet, so he's my favorite player in the world now. He got a brace. Sobolev's goals were great. And it was good, man. I think it was arguably Spartak's best game under Tedesco. So that's great to
It
see.
was definitely up there. Did you know, one of my favorite moments of that game was Promise's goal, because that pass from Jordan Larson was, oh my days. It was
Yeah,
sexy. It was
exactly.
like, it's the kind of stuff that you'd see Prime Mesut Ozil do, or
Oh,
like,
Prime Mesut. Oh
it
my god,
is,
it is. I
it
know it is.
is,
I love Prime
it's
Mesut Ozil.
yeah. Okay, I thought you were arguing with me there. I thought you were saying no, it's
No,
not.
no, it's like I love Prime Mesut Ozil.
Oh,
Um,
so good. That pass just through the centre backs, right to Promise. Promise. All he had to do was put into the right bottom corner. Fantastic goal, and I think we're probably both in agreement that Spartak now, um, as of this moment, are the strongest team in the league. Would you agree with that?
um, I mean, I can't disagree because who else is who else is really competing? Everyone's trash. Um, you know what? Actually, give Loco a couple of games, and I think they might be up there for me. I know it sounds
Mm.
crazy to say because oh look at that, Loco was sixth, but good. But we have an actual title race on our hands, Artem.
Yeah.
Um, we have and we have there are 8 teams right now that could all take one of the top three spots. So you've got Zenit on 42, CSK on 40, Spartak on 38, Sochi on 37, Dynamo on 36, they're fifth, and then you've got three clubs on 34. Those are Rubin, Rostov, and Lokomotiv. And I know we ask this question every week, but Artem, do you have anything else to say about the Sparta game actually before we move on to the main event?
Uh, Not really. I guess all I have to say is congratulations to Sobolev for, you know, the great game he had on his birthday, which,
Ah,
that's
yeah,
always a nice way to celebrate. I'm a big fan of his. He was Kryle's main man at one point.
he was. No, I really like him as a player. You know how I feel. I think he should be the long-term Dzyuba replacement for Russia and for Zenit. Although clearly that's
Agree.
not. Yeah,
Except he's
so
not going to go to Zenit.
Dzyuba went. I mean, you never know.
Yeah,
Um,
I know, but Dzyuba had a big, like, he had a lot of problems at Spartak. People were accusing him of stealing players' wallets and stuff like
wait,
that. And
what? They
you haven't
were?
heard of that?
No, I'm a fraud,
Yeah,
man. You know how it is.
Vladimir Bystrov, the winger. Um, I believe that's what the story was, that he had like had some money or something like that in his locker, or it was something like that. It was in the dressing room, and he accused the Dzyuba of stealing it because it just went missing. And Dzyuba wasn't very well liked in Spartak. Like,
Yeah.
that, that's not the only moment that he had kind of controversial with them, and that's kind of why he went. I think all in all, I think he went to Zenit kind of in spite of Spartak. So
Yeah, it's like the opposite of Kokorin, except like Zub actually played well. Um,
yeah, exactly. Yeah, yeah.
and before actually, I want to do a bit of a Zuba appreciation, like 5 minute. But Artem, what are your thoughts on Adolfo Gaich ending the season with more Serie A goals than Kokorin? How does that make you feel?
Season's not over.
But it looks like Gaich is gonna. He's winning right now, okay, and Kokorin's gonna be
He
out for at
he's
least a
he's
month.
winning right now. He's played more minutes.
So he's got more goals.
Yeah, but he's played more minutes. Give Kokorin the extra 10 minutes or whatever that he has, and he'll
He got injured
he'll get.
again.
No, I know, but he's meant to be back by the weekend, I think.
Ah, okay, fair enough then. But no,
Yeah.
Zuba, man, like I asked this on Twitter like a while ago for my personal account, is that I feel like Zuba is criminally underappreciated. I know he jacked off on camera. I know he's a bit of a controversial personality outside of the game. But he is very close to becoming Russia's all-time top goal scorer. He's very close to becoming the Russian Premier League's all-time top goal scorer. He gave Zenit two championships and a Russian Cup. He's been amazing. His record is brilliant in goal scoring, like goals to game ratio and whatnot. But when you ask someone, like when you do a Twitter poll and you ask people who's the best player in the league, is it Vlasic, Dzyuba, or Quincy Promes or whoever? People just start dissing Dzyuba, man. I don't like that. I don't know if it's because the other two are foreigners. I don't know if it's because people just don't like Dzyuba. But I feel like Dzyuba is really, really underappreciated.
I agree with you to an extent. I do think that Zub is the kind of guy who's either getting all the respect in the world or getting absolutely none. Like, under Mancini, he was dissed time and time again. When Arsenal Tola was amazing. Back when he played for Rostov. Like obviously it's the same situation. He played for Spartak. They didn't appreciate him. He went to Rostov and became the top scorer in the league.
Yeah,
Like he's done it time and time again, and he is a fantastic, fantastic player, and I think he should be rated up there, especially because he looks like he's gonna break those records. I hope he does. I really hope he does. But at the same time, you do have to understand that players like Promise and Vlasic are harder to take out of the game when you're playing against them. When you're playing against Dzyuba, like we've seen, like more than once, a lot of times we've seen that clubs will set up their tactics to essentially just nullify Dzyuba. And if they can do that, then Zenit are toothless. And I think
yeah,
for that reason, Dzyuba get disrespected because, but it's kind of a weird one because you're like, yeah, you can out tactic Dzyuba, but at the same time, that usually involves putting two or three centre backs on him.
yeah, exactly.
So, I guess the thing is, if he was better at opening up space for other players when he's out tacticked,
Hmm.
that then maybe he'd be appreciated more. But like I do think he still is good like that. He's played in those roles with Drusi with Asmoon, but I don't know. Like I do think the Vlasic or Promise are better than Dzyuba. Like I'd rather have them in my team, but I do think Dzyuba is definitely still one of the best players in the league and should be more appreciated.
No, that's fair. Yeah, I really like the guy. I mean, I have no complaints with him. I think he's a great footballer. I think he deserves more respect. Speaking of players like that, Fedor Smolov, man, what a return to football for Fedor Smolov. He was substituted, I think, in the 70th minute or something against Arsenal Tula. Comes on a minute later, scores a banger. Then minutes later, he gives I don't know if it was Baranov or Zamalentinov an assist. So that's a goal and an assist for him in like 5 minutes of football. And I really like Fedor Smolov. I feel really bad for the guy, and he's gotten to that stage like a few years ago. He was always used to look like the freshest bloke imaginable, but he's just I think gone to the point now where he doesn't even care that much. Like his hair's a bit messy and stuff. And
Oh, I
you
don't
know,
know. I think his hair looks nice. Did you see the post that he made on Instagram after that game?
I don't know. I saw the picture of him holding a bouquet of flowers. Happy Women's Day, by the way. It's belated, but still.
Yeah, I think
And
that's the
he
one. Although there was a couple of him holding flowers that were going around.
yeah, exactly. There was I don't know. There was this one I saw where his hair looked like it hadn't been cut in a couple of months. You know how people say that R&B singers make the best music when they're heartbroken.
Yeah,
You've heard that, yeah. So it's like Fedor Smolov is
I have.
like Fedor Smolov really wants to play proper football now, and he wants to get back to his best and get back to the national team, which would be great for everybody. Um, while you pull that up,
Yeah, I
I'll
mean the
talk for a
goal he
while. I
scored at the
can't see
weekend was
anything on the screen
fantastic.
anymore, and your voice is lagging.
Oh my days. Oh no.
See, and it's taking you 4 seconds to respond. I don't care. This episode is going to be a nightmare. We're going to record. See, this is what I hate. I hate that
Oh
about Instagram, by the
Jesus.
way. I despise that feature that Instagram has, because I left Instagram, right? And whenever you want to look at any Instagram profile, it asks you to sign in, and it's really look at that. Look at his hair there.
I think it looks nice. I think it's just he hasn't had a haircut in a while, but I think it's combed over nice. I think he's wearing a nice shirt. He's got a nice watch on.
Yeah, and he looks happy. I mean, credit to him. Fair play, man. Um,
Yeah.
Okay, fair play. Maybe I was wrong about Smolov. I
No,
hope he
I
scores
completely
lots of
agree.
goals.
I completely agree with Instagram though. I fucking hate how Instagram doesn't just does not let you use their website unless you're signed in.
Exactly, man. Exactly. It's so
Facebook's
irritating.
sort of the same, but it's not it used to be more of the same, but now you can still kind of get in and just say like, oh yeah, no, I don't want to sign in. Whereas Instagram, you just have to.
Yeah, Facebook even still you can see pages. It asks you for the like sign in to Facebook, but then if you just click cross on that, it's fine. Twitter is the best with that. You can just read any tweet. If you're not signed in, that's fine. But Instagram is horrible, man, with that stuff. It is absolutely terrible. You need to fix Zuckerberg. Get your shit in order, man. Um, but the main event of the weekend, Artem, was Denis Makarov sending Lovren back to Croatia. Can you take us through the state of the pitch on that day? Can you take us through that game? Can you take us through Zenit's title chances? What did you think?
Right. So the state of the pitch, I'll go through first. If anybody has ever played Age of Empires 2, and I'm sure anybody who's, you know, Hanu, you probably haven't played it, have you?
No.
Okay. Anybody who is, let's say, born in the 1990s or earlier has played that game for sure. You know the farms you lay down?
Of course,
Yeah,
I've played
that's what
Clash
they
of
played on.
Clans.
Yeah, that's pretty much what it is. Clash of Clans is a good example as well. The pitch was a potato field. It was terrible. Oh my days. And that slowed the game down a lot. Like even if you watch that goal by Makarov, it took him like 15 minutes to get up the pitch. It was just so slow. But credit to him, that run was unbelievable. I thought he did a little bit too many turns, but it turned out to be the perfect amount because he turned back onto his left foot, put it right into the right bottom corner in the 90 whatever minute. It was really laid on. Just can't believe it. It
It was,
just
yeah,
insane.
just insane. And also, you forgot Zenit getting a penalty and then Duping saving it in the 99th minute or whatever that was. Best.
I want to yeah, it was the 99th minute. I want to say that wasn't a Dupin save as much as it was a Dzyuba miss though.
Dzyuba is like Sergio Ramos, where he always takes cheeky penalties and it works 99% of the time. But when it doesn't, it looks really silly.
When like for me in that situation, like I can't remember what striker said it, but one striker definitely said it. I think it may have been an English striker. It's the 90th minute. Just smash it down the middle.
Yeah,
Like
no,
the keeper's gonna commit to one side or the other. If he doesn't, it's gonna look really stupid.
it is. Sergio Ramos does it. I think that's where Dzyuba gets his swag from. Sergio Ramos. Because if you've seen Sergio Ramos, he always takes his chipped penalties, always takes some like really daft penalty, and it works a lot of the time. Then I think there was the Spain game a while ago against Switzerland or something, where he took two penalties and both of them got saved, and he looked like an utter fool. So it happens. Like I would, yeah. If you're right, if I was Zuba, I would either not take the penalty, I would give it to I don't know. I'd let
Lovren.
yeah Lovren Lunev. I'd take Lunev take it. I'd let Lunev take it. It's the last kick of the game, right? You want to switch it
Yeah.
up for the streets. So let Douglas Santos take it. He's good at set pieces, something like that. But
Yeah, no, I agree. Honestly, when Dzyuba stepped up for it, I was just like, I'm not confident in this one.
yeah, it's hard. It's hard with him. But it was funny because Dennis Makarov is anti-vax, Lovren is anti-vax, and Makarov won the anti-vax derby. And credit to him,
I
Rubin
hope
now.
Peter Odemwingie was watching that game.
Yes, Peter Odemwingie, what a guy! He is the god of it all. He's like he's
For anybody who doesn't follow Peter Odemwingie on Twitter, you absolutely should because there's some gold there. You'll find out all about government mind control. You'll find out about the New World Order. You'll find out about how vaccines are fake and how
the lizards
in
are taking
Israel all
over.
they're doing is they're pretty much putting the needle up to your arm and pretending to administer something. You find out all about this really cool and real shit. from one of the wisest men football has ever created.
Yeah. You know how people talk about that one uncle or auntie they have that just got embroiled in like all the fake news in the world?
Yeah,
Yeah, that's Peter Odomini. He's
it's
that
funny
uncle.
though because yeah, like you can tell that there's a lot of sports men and sports women who get all of their news online, like who have never like I don't know looked into anything. It's like for example, like I think that the vaccine stuff is a prime example right now because there is so much misinformation going around,
Yeah.
um, and you can kind of fiddle out like okay, there's Odemwingi's one, Makarov's one, um, Lovren's one,
It's
but
usually
like
the old guys. Even you know what, Lovren, I'm being disrespectful because Lovren
they're
did
not
say
even
that.
they're not even that old though. Like for example, like even fucking Novak Djokovic,
Right.
like there's so many people like
It's
there's so many people who
usually it's usually like Peter Shilton and Graham Lesaux or Letizier, one of them. I'm sorry for the one I
yeah.
disrespected, but there's one of the lay English guys that is heavy into that sort of stuff.
Letitia is definitely there. I've
Yeah,
seen
so
some
yeah,
dodgy
yeah.
shit
So
from him.
it's not Lesaux. I'm
So
sorry,
is so
Lesaux.
is Shilton.
Yeah,
Shilton's just a big brags ahead.
Shilton still sorry Maradona chipped.
Oh, did you see the the memes of Meghan Markle with that handball over Shilton?
Yeah, I did. I saw that. That the memes that have come out of that is so funny. Absolutely brilliant. I feel bad for Meghan Markle and Harry. Man, like Harry and fuck the royal family as well. All my homies hate the royal family. I'm sorry.
Facts. A
Yeah, I'm
wise
sorry.
man once said.
Wise man once said. Um, I'm sorry if you're listening in from the palaces or if you're a big royal family fan. My bad.
I, Honey, we've just lost the Queen. The Queen has been, she was one episode away from sponsoring us.
Sponsoring us with the might of the British Empire.
How funny would it be if like there's just a Russian football team just like on their shirt it didn't say anything. It just said just the Queen. It's just a plain white T-shirt.
To plain white
Just
t-shirt
the Queen.
with the words Queen on it. That would be swag though. I'd buy that t-shirt.
That would be pretty funny. I don't know if I'd buy it now, but
No, you know what? You know Commonwealth Day. I think today is Commonwealth Day, and
like,
it's all just gone to shit because the entire royal family is getting finally exposed.
what's Commonwealth Day? Like, is that an actual celebrated thing, or is it just one of those days that
It's one
someone
of
made up
it's
for
one
the
of
time?
those that the empire made up because they felt bad about their empire not existing anymore. So
Hmm.
it's literally a day celebrated to celebrate the empire, and all the Commonwealth countries that were under the empire have to celebrate it. So no one
That
really
sounds
cares
like
anymore.
that sounds like there's a setup. I wouldn't call it a celebration. There's a holiday in Russia that's like friendship of the people there or something like that. And it's just like you've blatantly just made that up.
Exactly, it's one of those things. I feel like there's one of those in every country. I can think of a few in India like that as well, which is just made up for no reason. It's just a free holiday to the kids and stuff.
Yeah,
Um,
like for us, it's more like I don't know. Like in India, maybe you'll think of them like we don't have any crazy holidays. Like we have like St. Patrick's Day, but that's like that's a national holiday. That's normal, I think. Um, then we get like days off for like Easter. We have like you know random like bank holidays in May, June, whatever. Like, but like we don't have any random like days like that. By the
you,
way, you'd want to hear something, right?
go on.
Speaking of like we were speaking of vaccines and everything else, because Ireland has not been able to acquire the right amount of vaccines for our population, we're now stuck in a lockdown until mid-May, level 5. Um,
That's nice.
we started this lockdown in December,
That's nice.
so
Yeah.
this is going to be like a full 5 months.
Artem's entire existence till May is going to be Clubhouse with me and David.
That's exactly what it is. It's actually a bit wild. I'm kind of hoping though that like I said this all along. If you lock us down until mid-May or June, as long as I have summer, I'm not too fussed. If you don't give me summer, I'm gonna be pissed. Like if I come outside and it starts getting cold again, if I come outside and it's dark at 7 p.m., oh my days, get out of here. Leave me alone. Just stop.
Artem is going to storm the Irish capital if the lockdown is eased in winter. That is
People did that. I
hilarious.
don't know if you saw the videos on Twitter, but there was a big anti lockdown protest, right? And like people were shooting like Gardaí, which is like our police.
Yeah.
People were shooting the guards with fireworks and like just starting fights and stuff with these things. And it's like, well, you're just like, I don't know if I'd even agree with the peaceful protest. Like, I can kind of get like why people do it because they're going out and there's like, yeah, like small businesses are closed, we're not making any money, whatever. But
Yeah.
when you start being violent, that's when you lose all credibility.
Yeah,
Like, you're fucking it up for everybody.
that's true. And it's this, by the way, we're completely off Russian football. I think we have a couple of topics to get to, Champions League and stuff. But this is eerily reminiscent of our clubhouse room yesterday. We had Kai, me, Artem, and David. We started off talking about like Murad Musayev and stuff. We talked about NFTs, China, the Champions League, mad social issues. Like we covered everything in that 2.5 hour call, and this looks like an extension of that. But you know what? The first time, you know how you said that it gets seven, like you're gonna be mad if it's dark at 7 p.m.
Yeah,
So like the first time I went to Europe, it was like I went to Spain in 2012, and it was like 9:30 p.m. and it was still light outside, and I
yeah,
felt so tripped because everywhere else I had been, it's like it's the sunset is at like five, not five, maybe 6:30, 7 p.m., 7:30 p.m. The sun is gone. It's nighttime,
yeah.
and so when I found that out, I was like, that's not. And even then,
You
I
went in
was
summer though, did you?
yeah, it was in July, I think.
Yeah, see, like that's like for us in summer, I think the sun sets at 11 p.m. and rises at
Jesus
4,
Christ.
and that is my favorite time of the year. Like, fuck the darkness. Hate
11
that shit.
p.m. the sun sets?
It's amazing. It's so good. You can
Nah,
stay up and
no,
it's
no,
bright.
no,
It's
no.
amazing. It's so
I
nice.
don't like
But the
that.
thing is, I would not like it to go any past 11 p.m. Like, I don't know about you. Like, when you went to St. Petersburg, what time of the year was it?
It was in the winter. It was regular. It would be dark by
Right.
like
Okay.
regular time.
No, 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 not regular time because in the winter St. Petersburg like it's just dark all day. But in the summer, there's like a few weeks where it doesn't get dark at all
I don't like that.
because
I
it's
hate that.
so. I'd hate that as well. It would be so trippy. Like I think that half 10, 11 p.m. is the perfect time for the sun to set. Like
It
it's like
sounds.
your day is coming to an end and you're going to sleep around that time. Usually. And it's just perfect. And it's like you wake up, it's already bright, and you don't feel like shit because I don't know about you, but when I wake up and it's dark, I'm just like, I want to kill myself. Fuck this.
No, you know what? No, I don't like that. I don't like because I feel like I get what you're saying. Where too much of my day and my days are built around like the vibe you get from what it looks like outside.
Yeah,
But I'm so you like my day is like the morning period. Then there's a weird period between 4 to 7, which is like you do
yeah.
nothing during that period. And then after 7, wherever I lived, it gets dark after 7, and you're like, oh, this is after hours mode, and it's nighttime right now. Okay, and if it's out, if the sun is out at 10 p.m., I would want to kill myself. Like, let me live in peace. Like let's everyone just go to sleep. I'm gonna stay up. It's dark outside, stay dark outside until like 6:54 whatever a.m. in the morning. I would not want to look outside my window at 11 p.m. and see the sun. Go home,
Oh well, the thing
sleep.
the thing is, it's like it's not like you're seeing the sun in the middle of the sky. Like you can see it's going down. It's starting to get dark. It's like it's really like a night. Like the sky will go orange if the next day is gonna be nice and stuff like that. And it's just like, oh, this is great. Like it's like it's a real calming vibe. Like I don't know about you, right? But I hate when you finish school. Like when I was in school, I hated when you finish school and it's dark. I hate like same thing. I hate when I finish work and it's dark. The last few weeks, I've been finishing work and it's bright for like 30 minutes, and I'm like, it's like I'm not even working a full day. It's great.
Yeah, it's weird. You know what? Because I feel like this weather conversation is fun because we're describing very vague things, but we understand exactly what we're talking about. And
Yeah.
I've never really experienced it being dark outside when school is over unless it's raining. And I don't mind the rain too much, but I want to ask you, Artem, what is perfect football weather for
Oh,
playing?
I thought that you were gonna have the same question I had for you. Right, I'll answer that first. perfect football weather is what we get in Ireland here in like May, June, July. Like on at like 12, maybe 11 a.m. or 12 like noon,
Yeah.
because it's not too hot. It's like a nice cool like 15 to 20 degrees. It's warm enough to wear a t-shirt and you're playing in like shorts and everything, but it's not hot enough that you're like and drinking water every 2 seconds. Like
Yeah.
that's perfect weather for me. Like whenever like I love going to Bulgaria. Like Bulgaria is my main holiday spot if anyone didn't know that. Um I love Bulgaria. It's
Yeah.
fucking fantastic because where I go in it's a small town called Nasabre at the beach. Like it's like the perfect weather for the beach is like 28 to 34 degrees. That range. That is a perfect range for my holiday. But if I was to play football in that weather, it would be a different story. I'd be out like I'd have a heat stroke, no doubt. What
I
about you?
think
What are you
I
saying?
think
What
I
what, what
think
what's your football weather?
I think 90% of the time I've played football has been like 28 to 34 or above. Easily. That's just
Yes.
because of where I'm from. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm the type of guy that feels cold when it's 10 degrees outside. Like cold, cold. Like I need a sweater and a jacket and shit like that. So that's just because of where we're from. But it's sad because I haven't been able to play too much football over the past 2 or 3 years. And actually, I went to play football and cricket with my mates on Sunday. And
Nice.
yeah, it was the first time I've played really anything since 2019 at least. And we played for like a good eventually I mean, initially we were supposed to play only 2 hours. We went on for like 3.5 4 hours. The next day I had issues walking. My legs couldn't move. I couldn't sit up or I couldn't stand without feeling like I'm 80 years old. My right hand wasn't working, and I'm still feeling a bit off, but it's not as bad anymore. But no, ideal football weather to me is something similar to what you said. It's first of all that it shouldn't be too sunny. It's like a clouds are there in the sky. It's a bit overcast, but not really.
Yeah.
And I mean, whether the temperature can be whatever, but if there's a cool breeze or something, that's perfect. That's great football weather to me. That's ideal to me. But what was your question?
Yeah, I agree. So my question was, we were talking about when it gets dark and when it gets bright. If you were to choose what time, like year round, it gets dark and bright, what time would you pick?
Okay. Well, bright, I don't really care because I'm not a morning person. So if it's up to me, I don't wake up any
But
earlier
hang,
than
hang on,
11
hang on,
a.m.
hang on.
Go on.
To that, I'd say, do you want to go to sleep when it's bright though? Because I know you stay up to all hours. So it's like, do you
Absolutely
want to like
not. That feels like
exactly?
it feels like
So,
I'm a crackhead, is what it feels like.
exactly. So from that, you've got to pick a time where you're never gonna be up. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I mean, to be fair, even though I am up at all hours, I very rarely go to sleep when it's actually like bright or even getting bright outside. Thankfully, I'm in bed by the time like an hour or so, usually before it's bright. But I would say a good time for the sun to come out is um, like it starts off at maybe 5:36 when there's initial like flashes of brightness, and then by 7:38 like the sun is coming out. It's like the morning vibe. And then sunset, I don't want sunset to be any later than 7:30 or 8. I don't want it to be
Whoa.
any earlier than 5:30 to 6. If the sun sets before that, then I feel like my life is like flashing past too quickly, because it's like, where did my morning go, right? So that's my
Wow.
what's your ideal?
I would say from 10 o'clock in the evening
Right.
until 6 or half 6 in the morning. Because I feel like 6 or half 6, like I never should be up around that time. But just in case, like let's say I do get up at 6, I want it to be close to getting bright, if not bright already.
Yes.
And going to bed, it's like, look, it is harder to go to sleep when it's bright out. But I still want it to be bright. Like I'm not going to bed before 10 p.m. ever anyway.
Yeah.
So I'm happily taking brightness then. Like I'd love to be able to like, because it's not just brightness that comes with the sun being out. Like the warmth stays around, and like okay, like in countries like India, you know, it's probably different. Like it's probably still warm, but when the sun
Yes,
sets here, it's like you're it's just it's freezing. It's terrible. I really
you're in
don't like
Russia.
it.
Mm-hmm. No,
And it's so
that's
windy here. Like this has got to be the windiest country in the world, and I'm here to tell you that. Like it's weird because every time I go to Russia, like let's say I go to Russia in the winter and it's minus, let's say minus 15 degrees in Samara, it feels warmer in Ireland than it does. Or sorry, it feels warmer in Russia than it does in Ireland because over here it could be 5 degrees, but it's so windy. Like the chill factor, like it makes it like let's say -1, but it just feels like violent. Like the wind is blowing in your face constantly, cold air, and it just terrible. Like
this is
if there's anything I could change about the weather here, it's the
yeah.
wind. Like the wind can fuck off.
No, that doesn't sound good, honestly. I mean,
It's terrible.
yeah, this is world class conversation, by the way. This is why we got 20 fans on SportRex, about 60 subscribers. This is
21.
this 21. This is what you came for. Um, but to close out this weather tangent, I want to ask you, what's the worst type of weather? Like what you just described, you'd say?
Wind and rain. Like when it's windy and raining, it's like it happened today. Like luckily enough, like I had to go and do an inspection earlier on a site, but it didn't rain or wasn't windy at that point, so it was fine. But when I got home, I looked out the window and it was just like the rain was sideways, and I was like, oh, feel bad for anybody who's out in that. Like it
The
really,
rain
it just
was sideways.
it was.
I know what you're
have
talking
you
about. I've seen what you're talking about. It's fine, but it's still funny to think about.
have you ever seen the episode of Family Guy where it's like
I've never seen
I can't
Family
remember what.
Guy.
You've never seen Family Guy?
No,
Oh my days, Hanu! What is?
No, I haven't seen any of that. I haven't seen the only like real cliched shows I've watched is The Office and Suits. Shout out Meghan Markle.
You
Um,
need to know. You need to watch Family Guy. Family Guy's hilarious. And like, there's one segment where it's like, oh, what like what's the rain like, Ollie? And Ollie's like, it's raining sideways. That's it. It's just him
no,
blowing away. Oh, it's just hilarious. It's a love Family Guy, love South Park, love all those shows. American Dad,
fair
Futurama, The
enough.
Simpsons. Oh,
Fair enough. Um, I have some football questions as well, but I have two other like smallish questions for you since we're already on a tangent. Adam, can you tell me
yeah.
what song you've listened to the most in your life?
Oh my days.
The absolute
What the fuck?
most, right? Even if you
The
can
song
name
I've
like a
listened.
couple that you think would be up there.
Um. See, there's definitely songs from like I used to listen to nothing but Eminem when I was younger.
Yeah.
From like the age of like 12 to like maybe 16 or something. I was just an angry child. Um and it coincided with the time where like Eminem, you still listen to old Eminem. Fantastic. It's great. It's a great time to be alive. Um I think it's got like there's got to be a Drake song in there somewhere. Like if it's top 5, there's got to be a Drake song up there somewhere. Um Could be Pound Cake. It could be
It's a
I
great
don't
song, by
know.
the way. I've restarted like listening
Yeah.
to it, and it's very good. I don't know why he ruined it by
Oh,
adding the second beat in there, though. That song, the first beat is perfect. Just end it in that 4 minute part.
I don't. I like the second part as well.
No, I cut it off after the first part is over.
Oh, I don't know. I like all that album was great altogether. To be honest, Tuscan Leather is another one that's just whew, unbelievable. Great song. I don't know. There's a lot of songs that I used to listen to. Like it probably would have been an Eminem one, and probably not one of the more popular ones.
Yeah,
It would have been something else. Like I remember vividly listening to Marshall Mathers quite a lot. Like that
yeah,
song.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
That's a great song.
It is.
Um, Recently, like maybe 2 years ago, So Appalled was like probably one of my by Kanye, Jay-Z, and them.
Mm-hmm.
It's one of my favorites as well. Like I feel like there's a lot of songs that I've had on repeat. I wish we had Spotify when I was younger because I'd be able to like pop it up and be like, oh, how do I have 8,000 hours on this song?
Yeah, no.
What about
For
you? What are you saying? Do you know or
I don't know. I of course, I don't know the clear answer, but I feel like because I mainly listen to almost exclusively listen to rap music these days, right? But I only started listening in like 2017, late-ish 2017. So that's
Mm-hmm.
only 4 years of stuff. But if I had to choose from that, I feel like Dre is up there in my all-time
Oh,
list
good show.
because yeah, I was thinking of songs that sound the same like when you first heard them and they still sound as good. So I feel
Yeah.
like yeah, that's one. I feel like the Kanye Part 2 song.
I think I do.
Yeah, the Father Stretch
If I
My
listen
Hand.
to it, I'd know.
Yeah, it's basically Father
Oh,
Stretch My
yeah. That's the. You should.
Very flipped panda basically, right?
Yeah. You should. No, you should have. When you said part two, I was like, hmm.
Yeah, exactly. So
No,
I feel like
I know that song. That's a great song.
that is either number one or number two on my all-time list because that song is only 2 minutes 16 seconds, and I have when I turn on that song, I listen to it at least like 6 to 7 times, and I listen to it's like a clutch song for me, right? But I think number one on my all-time list is probably Michael Jackson "Beat It" because
Just beat it.
what a song! I have been listening to Michael Jackson since I was 3 or 4 years of age, right? My dad put
Whew.
me on, and that was my favorite song. So I feel like it's just like mad years, and it's still in my place. Whenever it comes on, I still jam like when I first heard it, right? And Michael Jackson, what a guy, legend.
Can I give you a virtual handshake because that's my favorite Michael Jackson song as
Oh
well.
man, I respect that. I'm
I'm
actually
big fan of Michael
handshaking my
Jackson.
screen right now.
Respect,
Um,
so am I. I no, I used to love Michael Jackson as well. I used to be like I probably still can moonwalk. I
no,
learned
I
how to
can't
moonwalk
moonwalk.
and like it's just like in PE whenever we were like you're doing the warm up and it's like you're just like yeah run the length of this like run backwards and I used to just moonwalk across the hall. It was great. Um, I thought I was actually pretty good at it as well, but that's the only move I could do. But Michael Jackson is just a goat and
He is
definitely
the
not a
goat,
peak
man.
for
There'll never be another Michael Jackson. Like
no.
he is probably the biggest celebrity to have ever lived after Jesus Christ, if you want to count him. But
Jesus
like,
Christ, yeah, Jesus Christ, celebrity status.
yeah, but Michael Jackson, honestly, probably the biggest celebrity ever. Anywhere he goes, people would go crazy. He came to
Mm,
India once in 1996. People went crazy, and I was reading like first of all, there's just so many legendary stories with him. First of all, it cost $30 million to make his last album. Not last album, I think, one that came out in 2001 or something. That's like a
mm.
star. That's like Zenit's transfer record to make an album, and it was worth it. It's a great album, right? And then there
Yeah,
was this story about when he came to India. He like on the way from the airport, he stopped his car to play with these children who were just on the sidewalks, and he played for them for about 30 minutes. And then
mm.
he decided to just pay for the entire area's education, like their school education. What a guy, man!
Respect.
And
Big up.
yeah, and like imagine doing a documentary. Like imagine tracking down those children, and those children have that attached to them. That Michael Jackson paid for my school education. That would be
Yeah,
yeah,
I saw actually a very funny video earlier that was like Lil Uzi obviously.
yeah,
Yeah, there was a video. It was like so he was walking through like a shopping mall or whatever you want to call them, shopping
yeah,
center. Um, and some guy was like, Uzi, can you pay for my schooling? And he was like he walked past him at first and then turned back and goes, how much is it? And he said something like 80,000, and he was just like, yeah, cool, just like
yeah,
he
yeah,
gave
yeah,
him his.
yeah. Exactly. No, I always respect that. I always
It's
respect
like
that.
yeah, I can do that.
Yeah, I always
Honestly, do you
respect
know
that.
what? That's one of my biggest like one of the biggest measurements of success for me is if I was ever able to do something like that or to open a school or like I don't
Yeah,
know, like that's kind of the dream
it
for
is.
me.
Opening a school is fire. I would,
Open,
yeah,
yeah, that's the thing. It would be sick, and like you'd have it like I don't know, like I'd love to have like a business school or something, because that's kind of what I'm most interested in.
yeah.
But yeah, no, that'd be fucking sick.
It would be
If you
sick,
like,
yeah.
if what is your biggest measurement of success? Like if you could say at the end of your life you've achieved one thing, like would it be like owning a football club or would it be something else? Like
Happiness, probably.
very good answer. But
Yeah.
how do you measure that?
I don't know. I feel like it's not measurable. I feel like, I mean, you just know if you're happy or not. But I feel like if
Yeah, I
if
guess.
tangible things, yes, I would like to own a football club, successful one. Um, I don't know. It's a really tough and it's a really good question. But yeah, I don't know. What would your answer be?
I I don't know. Like, one of my answers would probably be like, I think you probably agree with this as well. Like, probably do something for the parents or the
Oh yeah,
grandparents,
for
like,
sure, for
buy my
sure.
mom a
Yeah,
house or some, something like that. But like, if all that is sorted already, like, I feel like, helping society and something like building a school would be one of them, at least, if not
yeah,
like the main one. But other, like, to get there, you've got to do so much other shit. Like, I'd love to. There's a lot of stuff I'd love to do. Like, I'm not really too mad on like owning a boat or a private jet or
yeah.
anything. Like, that's just not really what I want to do. But like, I'd love to own lots of property like that. Like, I'd love to do that. Like, there's a lot of cool shit that.
I feel like one of the things, and it comes with wealth. It comes with a whole lot of other stuff. Is like, and this especially this feeling intensifies when I listen to Drake songs. Like,
Oh
is
yeah,
that
Drake is great at that.
Drake is probably the best rich rapper there is. It's either Drake, Rick Ross, and it's a couple of them. But Drake and it's like having like you just being the man in it. That if people need
Yeah,
something, they can come up to you and you will solve their issues.
yeah,
That
yeah,
feels like a big measurement of success. Whether
yeah,
it's your family, whether it's just some random people. And Drake always talks about that type of stuff. Hey, yo, P came up to my boat, I gave him 100K, just shit like that. It's like,
yeah.
so
Like, what was that? There's some lyric that's like, yeah, all the people in the club are good for the night except my homies. They're good for life.
yeah, he
Like,
always
shit like that.
no, that bar on that Lemon Pepper song about him dropping his son off to school. By the
Making a
time
meal.
exact that bar was superb, and he's like, "It's time for recess. Daddy made another M. School bell rings. I'm back on them again," or something like that. What a great bar that was. Lil Baby
Oh,
also went in on that song. He went crazy.
oh,
Uh,
that's a great song. And like, another good line from that song I like is the one that's like, yeah, they asked me if I know Beyonce or Nicki
yes,
Minaj, and it's just
that
like, and it's a little like 2-3 second pause. Of
exactly.
course.
That was such a Drake thing to do. It's such a Drake thing. There's no need for that, of course. No need at all. We know you know Beyonce and Nicki Minaj, but he just has to say it. Of course. No,
Oh,
he's good at that. He's really good at that.
no, that guy is inspirational. I always think like even like the things he says outside of music. Like, one of the things he said is like, people told him, oh, you've got to move to New York to make it, like. And he kind of went against it. He was like, "No, like, do it like, like the weekend did. Do it like basically just said like, no, you can do it from anywhere. You just got to know what you're doing." And it's just like, I don't know. He's one of the most inspirational people for our generation, no doubt. And I know a lot of people who are listening to this podcast are like, really,
What
Drake?
are you talking about? Is what they're saying. But
Yeah, but no, but he is
he is
for
no,
real.
he
Like,
is. I'm sorry, I'm laughing. Okay,
are
I
you
just
crying or
no.
laughing?
Listen to why I'm laughing. Okay, I saw
Go on.
Tom Weber just put out a tweet, and it's basically Zenit. My bad. Zenit's women team, right? Signed a Portuguese player, okay? And I guess
Yeah.
they messed up the Google translation when they were writing about her biography. So the sentence reads Ana Diaz
Hmm.
prefers to play on the right flank and plays confidently in the final stages of the attack. Anna's key strength is my bad. Anna's key strength is horse wrestling. Look at that. I'm gonna send it to you on Twitter. I can't
I'm
stop
looking at
laughing.
it now. I'm looking at it.
Yeah.
That's pretty funny.
Anna's key strength is horse wrestling. I'm sorry for an entire minute of just laughing on this podcast. This has been some episode. But
You know what the
no,
funny thing is though? It's like, watch, like, just watch. You're gonna see that's actually what her biggest talent is. She's gonna post some Instagram pictures of her wrestling with
wrestling
horses.
horses. Wrestling a horse is insane. Where does that thought even come to your head though?
Okay, Hannah. Here's another question for you. What's the biggest animal that you could beat the shit out of? A very original podcast topic, may I say? No one's ever asked that
No,
question
you know what?
before.
I think I heard that on a podcast or something, and
But man, it comes up on like every single like
exactly.
Joe Rogan podcast. It comes up on like so many different other podcasts.
You know what, man? I don't think I'm that good. I would probably like I have a fear of dogs, right? So anybody
Yeah,
else would say dogs, but I can't say dogs because I'm fucking scared of them anytime I see them. Um, Cats can fuck you up as well.
they can.
I don't know, man. I could probably beat up like a goat or a sheep or something just because they're so docile and just calm creatures, but I won't want to because who
Hmm.
wants to like hit a sheep or something? I don't know. I'm fine with just killing mosquitoes and cockroaches and ants and shit. What about you?
Yeah, I don't know. Wait, I just asked the question just because it was so unoriginal. But I think a goat or a sheep is actually a fairly good show. Like you said, they're pretty calm. Like I don't like they definitely couldn't take a horse. No, wouldn't take an ostrich or some shit like that. Like
Yeah,
it would
ostriches are
have to
just
be one of those calm animals that just don't do shit. Like
yeah. You'd feel bad after hitting them. Like you'd like give them some food or something if you had to, but after you hit them. But now going back to Drake, Drake is most definitely an inspiration. He is, and his glow up from being what he was in like the so far gone era to now has been quite crazy. It gives me hope for
hmm,
myself, because he was like a real nerdy kid when he came out. You know,
yeah,
when he just hopped on the scene, and now look at him. He's like super rich. He sort of presents himself in that Rick Ross style of things. So I mean, credit to him, fair play. Um,
yeah, no, absolutely. He's just a great guy.
yeah. The Champions League is on. Um, Juventus got knocked out. Um, we've got Liverpool, Leipzig. Okay, first of all, Artem, it's probably not going to matter to our listeners because the game will be long gone. Do you think Barcelona can beat PSG today? Like, can they go through?
Mm-mm. I think PSG will have learned from the last time, um, even though that was a while ago. I think that they've put themselves in a good position, and Barcelona, they've been doing better in recent weeks, but I still think PSG have the strength to beat them, and I think they will. I think it'll be a good game. I'm gonna watch it. Like it's on in 20 minutes, um,
Yeah,
so I'm definitely gonna watch. Oh no, it's not. It's in 40 minutes.
yeah.
Um, so I'm definitely gonna watch it, but I don't see Barcelona get back into it. The other game tonight, Liverpool against RB Leipzig. Don't see Leipzig getting back
Yeah,
into
that's a
it, even
dead
though
game.
Liverpool have been shit as well. Like, do you agree with both of those predictions? Or
I agree with both those predictions. No, wait. Yeah, I do agree with both those predictions, but I will be very, 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 very upset if Barcelona can do it again. Like,
I'd be pissed,
I
but
will be
also I'd probably
sad.
enjoy it.
I would not enjoy it for obvious reasons. But no, I
The
think
big one I'm looking forward to next week is Real Madrid against Atalanta.
yeah, I agree.
Since we're not
Um,
going to have a pod before that game, tell me, something. Are they going to win? Are they going to lose?
I'm never confident these days. Um, I'm never confident, man. I thought we were going to get battered in the first leg, but we actually played really, really well. Like the tactics and stuff were on point. Uh,
Against 10 men.
I don't care if it was 10 men or 11. We were good for the like we were good when they had 11 men as well. If we can stick to that, I feel like you know. But I'm still not like the game is very much still in the balance. We might have Ramos back. I've forgotten how Ramos has even played. He's been out for so long. So I don't know, man. It's gonna be a good game. But
Yeah.
yeah, I've first of all, Artem Mbappe or Haaland.
Oh, I don't know. Like this is just one of these things where I'm not getting involved. I
Right.
like them both. I really like them both. Like Haaland is just a mad bastard. He played against one of my best friends actually in the under 17 UEFA Champions League or whatever the fuck it is. The Youth Champions League, I think it's called.
Yeah, something like that. The youth league, I think.
Yeah. So like I'm a big fan of Haaland. I think he's just a monster. Like he's the new Lewandowski, essentially.
Yeah.
Um, you know. Plus, I think he has a little bit more to his game. than Lewandowski does. And that's an extremely difficult thing to say.
Yeah.
Um, because not many players do. Although like Mbappe also is super fun to watch. Like he's just so quick, decent finishing. Like he's just Mbappe's a whole brand. He's not just a player. So I think both of them. I'd love to see them in the same team.
Oh my god,
Like
imagine that.
that would be insane.
Hala Madrid.
But that would be mental. Like Haaland obviously has got his release clause not this season but next season for 75 mil,
Yeah,
and
Zenit should pay that.
you'd imagine a good few clubs would want to be taking that up.
Yeah, that's true. Um,
So I'm gonna look forward to seeing him. Like do you have a player you prefer? Like I'm like for me I'm just like I'm staying out of this. Like I've seen this argument with Messi and Ronaldo, and then when
yeah,
you actually stand back and watch them both, you're like, this is just great football. Can we just not? Um,
exactly. I mean, it comes down to personal preference. I just like Mbappe because he's a Real Madrid fan. He's been about to join us for 3 years now. Um, I don't mind. I think I like Haaland as well. I like both of them. It's the same thing, like with Messi and Ronaldo. Going back to Messi and Ronaldo, because Juventus got knocked out last night, I have seen some wild opinions float around Ronaldo. I have seen people say that it was all Ronaldo's fault. I have seen people say that nobody's going to want to buy Ronaldo in the summer. I have seen people say a lot of mad shit, and I don't like it, man. I don't like the disrespect because people are saying that Ronaldo hasn't done enough to take Juventus to the next level. But without Ronaldo, Juventus would be like eighth in Serie A and like would have been in the Europa League. Andrea Pirlo is a trash manager. They have Arthur and Adrian Rabiot in midfield. Gianluigi Buffon is still at that club for some reason, playing actual football. I don't know. I don't like the Ronaldo disrespect, man. What do you think?
Yeah, I agree with you. I think Ronaldo is starting to become more disrespected, but I think it's only because people are comparing him to what he was 2 or 3 years ago. And like you can tell that his level has dropped in that time, but he's
Has
still an
it?
amazing player. Yeah, it definitely has. Like
I
if you
don't
look
know,
at the
man.
things even that he was doing when he just joined Juventus, it's not the same. He's not the same player. Um like there's no conversation for him being the best player in the world anymore.
That's
Um
rude. I feel
like
bad.
that's not the
I want to cry.
That's not to say like there's no conversation for him being the best player ever. But right now, he's not the best player in the world. He's probably not even top five.
Okay, no, that's disrespectful. Calm down. Calm down.
You think he's top five?
Yes, he's top three. What are you talking about?
Who's first and second?
Messi is probably first
Okay,
because
who's
he's
who's
he's
second?
I don't know. Well, then he's second. Who's second for
Well, who's
you?
third?
I don't look again. Is Mbappe and Haaland are in that conversation? Maybe not.
I think they are in that conversation. And like, if you take away like if you look at it like objectively, like if you look at it purely from forget everything that Ronaldo's done in the past and look at this season, like
He's
Mbappe
been
and
great
Haaland
this
are both
season.
above. He's been good, but he's not up to his own standard. Like he's been good, but he's not even the top scorer of the Serie A or anything.
He's got 20 goals and 2 assists in 22 games in this area. He's got 4 goals and 2 assists in the Champions League. I know that's not great, but these are for any other footballer in the world. These are insanity stats.
No, they are absolutely, but I don't know. It's just like he I if you even just watch the way he plays, it's just not the same. Like, and it's
You know,
it's look, it's upsetting for me to say because I am a massive Ronaldo fanboy. Like, he's one of my favorite players of all time, maybe even my favorite. But it's just like looking at him now, it's just like he is a little bit of a shadow of his former self. Like,
I think you know what? I think if Real Madrid re-sign him, he's going to be great again, like proper Ronaldo again.
I don't know, I can't see it.
Oh, come on, you can see it.
I'd love to see it, but I can't see it.
Nah, you can see it. I can see it. I can see it happening because it was first of all his transfer to Juventus. It didn't really make any sense to me. It still feels weird sometimes. Um, it's like even I can't imagine Messi at any other club apart from Barcelona. It would take me like 6 months to get used to that. Uh, Okay, here's the
I don't
thing.
know. I think Ronaldo's reasoning for joining Juventus was a fair one, and I think like it's a club who was looking to win the Champions League for how many times did they get so unlucky in the latter stages, and then now they've got a serial winner, like someone who's just won this trophy over and over again. Like he was meant to be the guy who pushed them over the edge, and like unfortunately, it's not all down to him, but
Yeah,
unfortunately, like they haven't won it, and for that reason, I see his time not as being a failure, but maybe as being a little bit below what was expected. You know, like it's like when you're like
but
when
do
you're playing
you?
Football Manager, you've got like a C. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, but do you think the expectation was too wild?
no, I don't think it was. To be honest, I think that
But if you
like,
hire Andrea Pirlo, never had a
mhm,
job in professional football before, right? Your
yeah,
team is subpar for it's not a Champions League winning team. Okay. And what is Ronaldo going to do? It's like PSG. It's like you can have Neymar and Mbappe up top, but then you have Kurzawa at left back and like proper just randomers in defense. You're only going to get so far. Like even though Messi and Ronaldo are world class players, best in the world, there's only so far they can take you.
no, I agree with you. It's not just down to him. It's a team sport at the end of the day. But I do think that like the Juventus now is not the same Juventus that when he joined. Like the Juventus when he joined was a much better team.
Yeah, sure, I agree with that. Honestly, I do. That's fair. Yeah, I agree with it. And I think they need to sack Pirlo and get a real manager in.
Slutsky.
I think he'll do well. That's the thing. I feel like this. We were having that talent development chat yesterday as well. Um, who do you who do you think is the best manager for developing talent worldwide? We're just discussing things from now on. We're going to discuss like 15 minutes worth of stuff more, and then we're going to go. But who do you think is the best? Like, who do you think are the managers that come to mind when it comes to developing talent?
Um, I mean, the one that sprung straight to mind just now is Pep. Um,
Yeah,
like he's done a lot of good work with both Zinchenko and Foden and a lot of other players as well. Like he's brought, you know, like he's made seemingly average players into like league winners,
yeah,
like really really good players. But I don't think he's the best. He's just the first one that came to mind. Um, there's conversations for a lot of managers to be had. Arsene Wenger was really good at that. He was really good at bringing in youth. Um, Sir Alex, of course.
hmm
You can't forget him. Like the class of '92 is one of the best academy graduate years of all time for any club.
yeah,
And he brought those all through. Like don't get me wrong, the talent was there, but without the manager supporting you, they wouldn't have been the same. I really don't know. It's difficult to quantify that sort of thing. Like
yeah,
if
yeah,
we're
yeah.
talking on a Russian scale, I think most people, including you, would agree it's Leonid Slutsky.
Yes.
Like what he's done with CSK, what he's done with like Jared Bowen at Hull, what he's done with Odegaard at Vitesse. Like that man is just amazing.
Yeah, he's
What
a
he's doing
great guy.
with Feature right now. Like
Yeah, no, all of the Rubin guys, he's done a great job of getting good things out of all of them. And going back to the, I don't know what my answer would be. Probably Pep. Jurgen Klopp's done well, but going back to our manager of the century conversation, and I can just feel Connor just jumping into this call out of nowhere because I am about to slander Jurgen Klopp and Liverpool. Right? Liverpool have lost 6 games in a row at Anfield. They are playing like a relegation club. They have injuries, whatever. Lots of people have injuries, right?
hmm.
And seemingly people are coming up with excuses all the time. Oh, it's this. Oh, it's that. And I don't think it's Klopp's fault. I don't think Klopp should be sacked or anything. But how much do you think this will go on to hurt his chances of like being in that manager century conversation? Because I feel like this is a real bad run that he's had, and I feel like if this season or if he gets sacked or something, I feel like Zidane is going to be firmly above him.
Yeah, I mean, I'd find it difficult to believe that Klopp would get sacked.
Yeah, he
Just
shouldn't.
purely because like yeah, the amount he's done at the club since coming in is absolutely outrageous. It's just amazing. I think this is just a bad season. Liverpool are having a big problem with injuries and stuff like that. Like I think if he isn't able to get into, let's say, let's just say at the end of the season he's not in Europe whatsoever. If he's not able to get back into the Champions League next season, then you start looking at him and saying like, look, is there someone better out there? There may
Yeah,
well be, like Steven Gerrard has done a fantastic job at Rangers, and maybe he'll be ready by then to take the torch. But I just I don't want to like speculate on Klopp right now because he has done a fantastic job. He's done what no other Liverpool manager has been able to do in the Premier League era, which is win the title. Plus, he's won the Champions League the year beforehand. Like
yeah,
he's just been a fantastic manager, and he's done it all like through exciting football, like making the players happy. A lot of players who were seemingly average became world beaters under him. So I don't know. I think he deserves a lot of respect, and I think he deserves a lot more time than what some people are saying.
yeah. No, that's fair. I think he deserves more time. I think he deserves to be properly backed in the transfer window. Like I follow a fair few Liverpool fans, and they're all really mad at FSG for good reason. Um, I mean, it's just like their Moneyball strategy hasn't fully worked. Uh, they're having a lot of issues on their own. Um, but yeah, we got anything else to discuss this week? We've barely discussed any Russian football. We're only just an hour in, um, and we hope this
I
episode
don't
hasn't
know. I
been
think
too
we've
much of an.
discussed enough Russian football. Like we discussed all the main things. I think we discussed less of Zenit than we probably should have, but the time has passed. What else
What's
can we
there to
say about
discuss?
Russian
Yeah, they're
football?
trash. Exactly. Yeah,
It's not even that. It's more so to
it's
do with like you said, there was 3-0 all games in the space of in the space of 3 games. um,
exactly.
CSK won,
Yes,
unsurprising. Dynamo won, unsurprising. Lokomotiv won. We talked about that. Zenit lost. We talked about that. Spartak won. We talked about that. I mean, looking forward to the next match day. We've got Himki against Rostov on the 12th on Friday.
oh,
Rostov should be coming out winners, but it could be a close game. Zenit are playing against Akhmat Grozny, which is never ever an easy game for
that's
Zenit,
gonna be
which
fun.
is going to be interesting. There's a Moscow derby. Dynamo are
It's
playing
happened
against
seven
Spartak.
times this season already. Dynamo Spartak has
Yeah.
taken place 9 times this season. Um,
There's Lokomotiv against Sochi. That's a preview of what we can expect in the cup. There is the worst team in the league derby
yes,
between
it
Tambov and
is.
Krasnodar.
Um,
And then, you know, what I think there's only 2 games left. Arsenal Tool are playing against CSKA. That could be a decent game. Ural against Rotor.
that's a dead
Ural
game.
will probably win, but
That's
that
a
could be a good
really
game as
dead
well.
game.
It's a good week. I think every week from here on in is going to be an interesting one. And I think
Yeah,
if Zenit lose this game, or if they draw this game, there is going to be hell for them. Like I feel like they're really collapsing under the pressure, and I expect any number of teams to catch up to them in that case. But if they can win, get the 3 points under their belt, then maybe they'll continue their
yeah.
journey to
Akhmat, to
first
be
place.
fair, have been awful since football restarted. Melkadze is the worst striker in the league. They've got two new signings, and Talalayev is not playing any of them. I don't know why that is. He's playing Melkadze and some other bum up front. So if Akhmat can get a result, that would be mental. Bernard Berisha, watch Bernard Berisha play like Messi. He always turns up against Zenit. He's such a strange
Mm,
footballer. I don't know which game it
he's
was,
gonna.
the Dynamo game or something. And this guy, right? He's making insane runs, and he missed about. I'm not kidding. He missed about 6 open goals. Just anyone would have scored, and he missed like just pucked 6 chances. Such a horrifying, like such a agonizing player to watch.
Here,
The fella.
here is my prediction for the Zenit game. Bernard Berisha is gonna win a penalty.
Yeah, he always seems to win a penalty, and he celebrates like he's
Yeah,
won the league.
and you gotta love it. You really gotta love it. That kind of shithousery is fantastic. Um,
Yeah,
but I think that's it from us this weekend. This week, what do you think?
yeah, it is. Just before Artem does the honors, I would like to say that our thoughts are with. We feel bad for the poor Loko. communication, media, social media staff, the team that got laid off, unfortunately. A lot of people, 20, 23 people that, unfortunately were laid off. We hope you guys find better and bigger things soon. It's, Russian football rearing its ugly head again. But that's all I have, man. I mean, if you'd like to do the honors.
Yeah, no, of course, yeah. I'd like to just echo those thoughts. It's ridiculous when someone gets sacked over something like that, and you know, fingers crossed they can all find better jobs.
Yeah.
Obviously that probably be at clubs that they don't love as much as Lokomotiv. As far as I know, they were all
Yeah,
fans. So
exactly. That's the sad part.
that's the painful part. But you know, besides that, onto like a slightly brighter note, I guess. You don't have to listen to us anymore. This podcast is ending. Believe it or not. Best part of your week, I guess. Um, if you did enjoy, please leave a like on YouTube. Gold medal on SportRx. By the way, please let us know, was the audio better? Like, is it worth for us to keep using the platform we're using today, or should we revert back to what we usually do? I really hope for the viewer's sake that you can actually see the the screen as well, because Hanu can't seem to. But look, this has been me and Hanu. Whatever this is, episode 32. We'll see you all next week.